You just got to get going. You have to be willing to do the difficult things. You have to be willing to do the things that you normally wouldn't do. You have to be willing to change. You have to change your habits if you want different results. There's no other way around it. You will continue getting the same results, going down the same path, and your body, your nervous system is all a reflection on what you accept and tolerate, on what you allow in your life, on the environment around you. Your body is responding to that. So if you don't feel good, if you're not, obviously what you eat and exercise and stuff plays a major role, but if your body's in this chronic nervous anxious state all of the time, you have to take a look at what's going on in your life, what's going on in your environment, what does your home look like, what are you allowing, what are you watching, what TV shows are you watching, what are you consuming, because you got to get your life in order. You have to say enough is enough. I'm getting this in order. I'm not allowing this anymore. I'm not going to do these same things anymore. I'm not going to, allow this crazy behavior or allow this toxic drinking or this gossiping, this drama, this family behavior, this family dynamic, this culture that maybe you were raised in. Fly. This culture that maybe you were raised in that is not producing good results in your life anymore. So many of us are just tolerating things because our parents did, or because we grew up that way, because it was acceptable, because living that way was acceptable, chaos and disorder and all of this ridiculous ideals that create a life that is really unexceptional, that is below average of where we could possibly be living, much lower than what we're capable of. And a lot of times we accept it because we're used to it, it's normal, or we just have gotten so used to believing or defending the lie that this is how life is, this is how the world is, this is how we are, this is how we are, and this is how our family is. And so we've basically just embodied that lie, and it's become such a truth. And then living out that truth is like you're just living a facade. You're living something so contradictory than what God had really designed you for and his plans for you and how he wants you to grow and develop. And he wants you to come up higher. Stop feeling guilty for coming up higher, for wanting more in life, for wanting to change, for wanting to grow, for wanting to develop. Don't feel guilty for that. Like, we have to get to the point where we're like, yes, I'm going to do this. And it's not about having more and more and more and more stuff and more money and a bigger house and climbing this corporate ladder, though some of those things could come into play as you're developing and growing because you're building your capacity for more. It's much easier to have a low end job where you just go to work every day than it is to be a business owner, entrepreneur of a multi-million-dollar business. It requires much more when you climb higher. So you have to build your capacity, you have to build your character, you have to build your faith, you have to build your stamina to be able to endure that kind of business or life or adventure. Bottom line is, until you change, nothing's going to change. Until you stop accepting things, stop compromising, stop tolerating, nothing's going to change. You're going to be waiting for some external thing to happen to make your decision. Like, you're waiting for the right time, you're waiting for things to line up to make the decision. You got to get going now. Work with what you have right now. Work with your abilities and gifts right now. Get clear on, this is what I'm good at, this is what I can use, this is what I have in my house. God always starts with what you have. What do you have in your house? What tools and gifts and abilities and capabilities do you have that you can start with to grow, to develop? Like, what can you eliminate that's not working? These are just simple things that you can do that can shift your life drastically in a very short period of time. It doesn't have to take 10 or 20 years or 15 years or 5 years. It doesn't have to take a year. It's how bad do you want it and what are you willing to give up? And get to work doing that. Get to work going for that. Be willing to make the changes. And I know it's hard. Everything in you is going to say, this feels weird, because you're not used to it. Everything around you is going to be like, oh, this doesn't make sense. I can't believe I'm doing this. Good. It should. Push it out into the deep. Get out into the uncomfortable. Start doing, start living. Start pulling that future self to the present. Be willing to let go of what is no longer serving you so you can develop. there's like, the time is passing. We got to get going. Like, when we're in the middle of the year right now, of 2026, we have got to get going. You can make this rest of this year the best year and make so much progress if you just get started.